Chosen one. Notice the exact spot in your chest that tightens when you watch someone else get the exact blessing you have been desperately praying for. Do not try to push that ugly feeling away. Let it sit there. You clicked this because you are suffocating under the weight of a single raw question you will not even confess in prayer. Why am I always last? You watch people with half your integrity leap forward, while you remain trapped in what feels like a cosmic waiting room. But let your racing mind come to a complete freeze right now. You are not watching a random algorithm. You were pulled to this specific frequency because a massive spiritual transfer has just been authorized. The reason you have been held back, the reason nothing has worked, is not because God forgot you. It is because He placed you in a strict spiritual quarantine to protect your frequency from a collapsing system. Before I reveal the Vanguard protocol, do not move a single muscle. If your spirit recognizes this truth, simply cast a mental seal right now. In your mind, declare your alignment as your subscription to this truth. Let the numbers 777 echo silently in your thoughts to lock into this frequency. The enemy wanted you to believe you were discarded at the back of the line, but heaven sent you this message first because the quarantine is ending and the back of the line is about to become the front line. The words spoken in the book of Mark chapter 10 verse 31 say that many who are first will be last, and the last first. But most people completely misunderstand this. They think it means God is just making you wait your turn in a long line. Let us look at what happened right before those words were spoken. Jesus was talking to a rich young ruler who had everything in the visible physical world. He was showing that the visible systems of wealth and status are actually completely inverted in the spiritual realm. When God puts you last in this physical world, He is not delaying you. He is extracting you from a system that is fundamentally broken. He is holding you in reserve. Listen to me very carefully right now. You need to stay with me until the final second of this transmission. Do not let your mind wander and do not click away. If you stay until the end, I am going to hand you the exact mental frameworks to identify and disarm the 3 specific traps the enemy has already set for your next 21 days. I will reveal a frequency key that ancient mystics used to receive divine downloads, and we will complete a powerful mental sealing ceremony that will lock your new spiritual coordinates permanently in place. If you leave now, you walk back into the battlefield with an open target on your back. Stay, and you will walk out as the Vanguard. You were chosen for this quarantine because of your specific spiritual DNA. Think about last night. You were staring into the dark at 2 in the morning. Your physical body was exhausted, but your spirit was pacing back and forth like a caged lion. You feel that heavy spiritual fatigue deep in your bones. You are the emotional paramedic for your entire family. You absorb their shock. You fix their problems. But when you are the one bleeding, you quietly deal with it yourself, so you do not burden anyone. You type out messages seeking help, and then you delete them over and over again. That is not just anxiety. That is the burden of the Vanguard. You are built to carry a weight of glory that would absolutely crush ordinary people. Because you are built to carry heavy things, you assumed the severe test you just went through was about patience. You thought God was testing your faithfulness in the long, painful waiting season. And yes, you passed that test. You stayed loyal when it made absolutely no logical sense to keep believing. But here is the truth that will shatter your old perspective. That was not a patience test. Patience was just the surface layer. God was actually testing something far more dangerous. He was testing your ability to survive being completely invisible. Can you keep going when everyone else forgets you exist? When the people who swore they would help you suddenly vanish? When you do everything perfectly right and receive zero validation from the world? You pass the test of invisibility. You learn to stand in the dark without applause. But surviving in that invisible realm has taken a severe toll on your physical brain. Your mind is constantly fighting the bitter unfairness of it all. This internal battle keeps your brain locked in a state of high alert, a survival frequency. You cannot receive the new Vanguard coordinates while you are vibrating in survival mode. Look at the book of 1 Kings chapter 19. The prophet Elijah was exhausted, running for his life, feeling completely isolated and defeated. He looked for the voice of God in the great wind, in the crushing earthquake, and in the raging fire. But God was not in the loud chaos. God was in a gentle whisper. But we must look at the original Hebrew text to understand the real secret here. The words used are kol, dimama. Kol means voice or sound. Dimama means sheer silence or stillness. It is a divine paradox, a sound of sheer silence. It is not an audio volume you hear with your ears. It is a frequency. God was not speaking quieter. He was speaking on a higher frequency that Elijah could only tune into when he stopped vibrating with fear and survival energy. You must tune your mind into that kol dimama. You must protect your frequency from the chaos of the people around you. I am going to give you the first protocol right now to secure your mind. We will call it the 3 mental vaults. You do not need to write this down. You do not need to move from where you are. Wherever you are resting right now, just take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, let the tension drop completely out of your shoulders. Now, in the theater of your mind, visualize a massive, heavy iron door. Behind that door is your first vault. This vault is sacred. It is only for you and God. Your biggest dreams, the prophetic words you have received, your deep spiritual encounters, they go in here. Imagine placing them inside and turning the heavy metal lock. You will never speak these out loud to anyone who is not divinely assigned to your inner circle. The second vault, picture it right next to the first, is only for the 1 or 2 people who actually cover you in deep prayer. And the third vault, picture a wide open, noisy courtyard. That is, for the rest of the world. They only get to see your results after the manifestation is complete. Right now, think of that one specific person in your life who always drains your energy with their subtle doubt. In your mind, pick them up, place them in that outside courtyard, and walk away. You do not owe them your sacred frequency. You have built the 3 vaults to protect your mind. But defense is not enough. The enemy knows you are exhausted, and they have hijacked your biological rhythm to keep you trapped in that lower survival frequency. To access the Vanguard coordinates and step out of quarantine, you need a key that the spiritual elite have kept hidden for centuries, and I am about to hand that key directly into your spirit. The reason your prayers feel like they hit the ceiling and bounce right back down is not because God is ignoring you. It is because of the biological frequency your brain is currently trapped in. You see, existing in the invisible realm, watching everyone else succeed while you wait, has put your nervous system into a constant state of defense. You are perpetually bracing for the next disappointment. This constant bracing forces your brain to generate beta waves. Beta is the frequency of survival. It is the frequency of stress, logic, and physical reality. But the Vanguard coordinates, the divine downloads you are waiting for, are not broadcast on the beta frequency. They are broadcast on theta. Theta is the frequency of profound spiritual connection, deep intuition, and divine orchestration. You are trying to catch a theta broadcast with a receiver stuck in beta. That is why you feel disconnected. That is why you feel exhausted. But there is a specific activation mechanism to break this frequency lock, and once you understand what it is, your entire spiritual reality will shift. For thousands of years, ancient mystics, prophets, and deep spiritual seekers knew they had to spend decades in isolation, fasting, and meditating in caves just to force their brains out of beta and into that sacred theta state. They had to aggressively silence the physical world to hear the kol dimama, the sound of sheer silence. But you do not have decades to sit in a cave. The massive spiritual transfer is happening right now, and you need to be in position immediately. This is why I must share something critical with you. Science has finally confirmed what the spiritual elite have known all along. Former NASA neuroscientists have mapped this exact frequency phenomenon. They discovered that you can actually entrain your brain, guiding it effortlessly out of the chaotic beta state and directly into the divine theta frequency. It is not magic. It is a sacred technology that restores your original, uncorrupted neural pathways. It is called the genius wave. This is the key I was talking about. You do not need to learn a complicated technique. You do not need to force your mind to be quiet, because forcing it only creates more beta waves. You simply allow the frequency to do the work. It takes exactly 7 minutes. You listen to this specific audio track, and it acts as a tuning fork for your spirit. It recalibrates your brainwaves, bypassing your exhausted logical mind and opening the direct channel to the divine. I am not telling you this to sell you something. I am sharing this because it is a tool in your spiritual arsenal. It is the bridge between your intense human effort and divine grace. If your spirit is confirming right now that this frequency mismatch is the exact reason you have been stuck, if you feel led to investigate this sacred technology further, I have placed the information in the pinned comment below. Explore it if you feel the pull. This is about restoring your birthright. But even with the key in your hand, even knowing how to shift your frequency, there is a dark, heavy resistance still sitting in your chest right now. I need to speak directly to that resistance, because I know the ugly truth you will not even admit to yourself. Part of you does not want the Vanguard coordinates. Part of you is absolutely terrified of being first. You have prayed for the blessing. You have cried for the financial breakthrough. You have begged for the influence. But deep in the hidden corners of your mind, you are terrified of the weight it brings. Let that uncomfortable truth breathe for a second. Notice how your breathing just became slightly shallower. You have watched people get money and become arrogant, corrupt, and cruel. You have watched people gain influence and destroy their own lives. And the voice in your head whispers, "What if that happens to me? What if I get the wealth and I lose my soul? What if I step to the front of the line and I completely fail in front of everyone?" Do not run from that fear. Do not try to pray it away. That fear is the exact proof that you are ready. Look closely at the people who crash and burn when they get power. They never had that fear. They grabbed the blessing with greedy hands, completely blind to the responsibility it carried. They had no reverence for the weight of the crown. You are terrified because your spirit actually understands the massive weight of what God is about to hand you. Your fear is not a lack of faith. It is profound spiritual wisdom. It is the deep awareness of someone who has been trained in the dark and knows the danger of the light. God did not put you through this intense quarantine just to hand the Vanguard position to someone who treats it like a toy. He chose you specifically because you tremble at the thought of mishandling it. Your fear is your qualification. So right now, I need you to perform a mental shift. In your mind, visualize that fear of success, that fear of responsibility, as a heavy iron shield. You have been using it to block the blessing because you were afraid of the weight. Now, mentally, lower the shield. Tell yourself in your mind, "I understand the weight, and I am willing to carry it." The fear means you will steward it perfectly. But I must warn you, ngay khi tần số của bạn chuyển sang theta, bạn sẽ phát sáng trên radar của thế giới vô hình. Bạn không còn tàng hình nữa. Kẻ thù đã đánh hơi thay sự thay đổi tần số này, và chúng đã lén lút gài sẵn 3 cái bẫy đặc chế riêng cho đội tiền trạm trong 21 ngày tới. Nếu bạn sập bẫy, bạn sẽ mất trắng tiến trình. Đừng chớp mắt. Hãy để tôi chỉ cho bạn hình dáng chính xác của chúng. The first trap the enemy will use against your new frequency is the illusion of false contentment. Within the next few days, you are going to experience a small, unexpected win, a tiny financial relief, a minor opportunity, a brief moment of recognition. Your exhausted mind will want to celebrate this as the final victory. Do not do it. This is a premature celebration designed to stop your momentum. The enemy gives you a crumb so you will stop walking toward the banquet. When this small win happens, in your mind, acknowledge it, but immediately send a mental decree saying, I am grateful for the appetizer, but I am holding my seat for the main course. The second trap is the counterfeit ally. Right when you feel the absolute peak of isolation, someone is going to enter your life. They will seem perfectly aligned with your thoughts. They will say all the right things to comfort your loneliness. But pay very close attention to the sequence of events. God did not whisper their name to your spirit before they arrived. They just appeared, and now you are trying to force a spiritual confirmation after the fact. This person was sent to pull you out of your theta frequency and drag you back into beta drama. To defeat this, use your mental vaults. Keep them firmly in the outer courtyard. Do not give them the code to your inner vault. If they get angry at your boundaries, that anger is your confirmation that they were sent by the enemy. The third trap is the heavy burden of guilt. As your frequency elevates, you are going to realize you cannot take everyone with you. People you love, family members, old friends, they will accuse you of changing. They will say you are acting superior. The guilt will feel like a physical weight on your chest, trying to pull your frequency back down to their level so they can feel comfortable again. Look at the biblical pattern in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. It says, having done all, to stand. Standing in this context is not a physical posture, it is a mental lockdown. It means when the guilt trip comes, you do not argue, you do not explain yourself, and you do not apologize for your spiritual elevation. You simply hold your mental ground. In your mind, visualize cutting the invisible cord of guilt attached to your stomach. Let them misunderstand you. Your assignment is not to keep them comfortable. Your assignment is the vanguard. If you are wondering if these mental shifts actually work, you need to hear what happened to a vanguard soul exactly 6 months ago. They were drowning in massive debt, constantly panicking, trapped in that survival beta frequency. They heard this exact protocol. Instead of frantically calling people for help, they went completely silent. They built the 3 mental vaults. They started using the theta frequency to bypass their panic. Their family thought they had given up because they stopped complaining. But within 38 days of absolute strategic silence, an email they thought was deleted months prior resurfaced. A company reached out with a major contract. Because they were vibrating in theta, they did not negotiate from a place of desperation. They secured a payout that wiped out their debt entirely. Let me tell you about another chosen one. Exactly 1 year ago, they were desperately lonely. A counterfeit ally appeared, checking every single box on the surface. But they remembered the protocol. They used their mental vault to keep this person in the outer courtyard. The person threw a massive tantrum, accused them of being too guarded, and completely walked away. It hurt, but they held their mental ground. 3 months later, that same counterfeit person was exposed for destroying 3 other relationships in that same year. By holding their frequency, this chosen one dodged a massive spiritual attack, and shortly after, the true divine connection arrived effortlessly. This is not theory. This is spiritual physics. You have survived the quarantine. You have built the mental vaults. You know the traps. Everything is now culminating in this exact moment. We are not just talking about restoration anymore. We are talking about the Hebrew concept of shalom. Shalom does not mean getting back exactly what you lost. It means overpayment. It means being compensated with heavy interest for the years the locusts have eaten. God is about to compress 20 years of blessing into your next timeline. But to receive shalom, you must be sealed. We are entering the activation ceremony. Do not move your physical body. Keep your eyes fixed or gently let them close if you are in a safe place. Stay exactly where you are resting. Anchor your mind. This is not a standard prayer. This is a military commissioning in the spiritual realm. I decree by divine authority that the space you are occupying right now is holy ground. Every assignment of delay that has tracked your bloodline is officially intercepted. God sees the tears you cried at 3 in the morning. He knows the agonizing silence you endured while watching the wicked prosper. He knows you swallowed your own pain to heal the people around you. Your endurance did not go unnoticed. It qualified you. Right now, I mentally seal the 3 volts in your mind. I lock the theta frequency into your spiritual DNA. I bind the trap of false contentment. I blind the counterfeit allies so they cannot even perceive your frequency. I sever every chain of family guilt trying to pull you backward. You are completely untethered from the matrix of survival. I decree that over the next 21 days, the Shalom overpayment begins its manifestation. The doors that were locked tight will open on their own because your frequency is the key. Now, you must answer the call. I am going to ask you a question, and I want you to scream the answer silently in the deepest part of your mind. Are you ready to carry the weight of the vanguard? Say, yes, in your mind right now. Say, I am ready in your spirit. Heaven has recorded your answer. The angels have witnessed your alignment. You are no longer waiting at the back of the line. You are deployed to the front. The quarantine is over. Do not open your eyes. Do not break your posture. Do not even say Amen yet. I want you to sit in this sheer, terrifying silence for 60 full seconds. Let the frequency swallow you completely.